Oh, hello. Welcome. Come in. My apartment is really small. It's 120 square feet. I know, it's tiny. So let's go ahead and do a section by section tour of this tiny, tiny studio. So you walk in and you are greeted by what I've made as a makeshift hallway landing space. These cabinets are shoe cabinets from IKEA, and this mirror is from IKEA as well. And I have a little shoe rack down here. Asian household, always take your shoes off. And this is the apartment's one and only closet. Storage is definitely really, really limited in this apartment. So as we go throughout the tour, you'll see kind of my other storage hacks that I've had to makeshift in this tiny studio. On this section, we've put some hooks and then some over the door hooks here just to put some clothes. And I've also installed a shelf all the way up there to just take advantage of the space. So this is my dining area slash office space. This is the Norden table from IKEA. You'll see it in a lot of tiny home slash small space tours. It's really popular within that community, just for the fact that it's a folding table. So when you need this space, you just put this up. And when you don't need it, you can just put it away. And the leaf also opens up on the other side, so if needed, it could seat about 6 people, and I have had like my family over and we've like sat around this table. So it's definitely a must-have for tiny spaces. Also love the drawers on the side for extra storage. And of course, a gigantic mirror that's also from IKEA, just to make the space feel bigger. I have about 3 mirrors in this one room alone, and it just kind of helps it feel bigger and brighter. This is my kitchen, and I put air quotes because this apartment doesn't technically have a kitchen. It does have a mini fridge and a sink, but there is no stove. So what I use to make food in here is this induction stovetop from IKEA. I move it by the window so that when I'm cooking, the smell can just go outside, because living in a studio apartment, that's definitely one of the challenges, is making sure that your bed and your clothes don't smell like the food that you're cooking. One of my favorite things in this apartment is this little rolling cart. Well, this space would have just been like unused, but thankfully this cart fits in here perfectly, and I love that you can take it out and it stores a bunch of like my cooking ingredients, sauces, and once you've done with it, you can just put it away. I also installed these shelves here. For my sink area, I don't have a traditional dish rack. I have this like over the sink thing that rolls away when I don't need it. And when I do need it, I just put a bunch of dishes there and have it lean against the side. I also installed this rod here, also from IKEA, to hang some pots, some utensils, and some lid covers. And then over on this side, this is just a kitchen island that I got on Wayfair. And behind these curtains is actually my microwave. I like that it's like hidden, because otherwise it's just like this gigantic appliance. And so it's nice to be able to put that visual clutter away. And the oven here works like kind of like a real oven. Like I've made like straight up food in there. I can make like toast in there. So highly, highly recommend, if you don't have a kitchen, to get a really good toaster oven. It can like fit a whole chicken in there. I had these cabinets installed by someone from TaskRabbit. These are from Overstock, and storage was really, really limited in this space. Like these were the only cabinets that came with this apartment for the kitchen area, and so I had these installed for more storage space for my dishes and my food. And I just kind of like love this little section. It's like my kitchen, quote unquote. This is another shelf that I installed just for extra storage. And I put up these baskets from Target to hide like blankets. I think there's like some like bottles of alcohol in one of these. And in this one, whew, it actually houses my Instant Pot. So I like that I'm able to put away that and not have it be seen all the time. Oof. And my biggest investment for this apartment is this Murphy bed. It just kind of looks like a cabinet, but in actuality, when you remove this tapestry here, it is a Murphy bed. I pull it down every night when I go to sleep. And if this wasn't here, then this entire space would have been a bed. And I didn't want to sacrifice the size of my bed. Other people, I think, have probably chosen to have a twin size bed in a tiny apartment like this, but I like to spread out. And so this Murphy bed was definitely a really good investment. Also have some boxes up there from Target for just additional storage of like coats, blankets, whatever that doesn't really need to be accessed on a daily basis. I just step on up here and grab whatever I need. This is my living area. This love seat is perfect for 2 people to fit on it. And another storage solution that I am a big fan of for small spaces is a storage ottoman. This is actually where I keep my pillows and my blankets for when I sleep at night. You'll notice that I have 2 fans here. One is facing inside and the other one is facing outside. It really helps me for just like keeping a good airflow in here, and especially when I'm cooking, this just like sucks all of the air out so that the smell doesn't like stay in my tiny studio apartment. Another thing that I installed in this area are these blackout curtains. I got these from Bed Bath & Beyond, and they're actually also like to a certain degree soundproofing too. So it kind of just helps eliminate some of the noise from the outside and just kind of keeps the light out too, when especially if I want to sleep in. It just kind of helps to block all of those sun rays. And I have south facing windows, so it's really great for like filming, but it gets really hot in my apartment. So these curtains do a really great job of like keeping the place cool. I also hung up these lights from IKEA. I try not to use the big light and just kind of have like mood lighting in like different corners. So these were really easy to hang up. And this is probably one of my most prized possessions. It is a Capiz shell wind chime from my late grandmother's store in the Philippines. She had a like native goods store for like souvenirs and like different products made from like native materials from the Philippines. And so I just love this thing. Whenever I hear it or whenever I look up at it, it just reminds me of my grandmother. Just some more additional storage in my apartment. These are drawers that I think I got from Wayfair. This is my TV. It's actually my work monitor, but I plugged in a Amazon Fire Stick so that it almost functions just like a TV. Have a little hanging plant here. And then up here is one more additional shelf that I installed just because space is so limited here. One thing that I really love that kind of like hid a bulky item is this basket that I got from IKEA. It's like this jute material, but it actually houses my dumbbells. So not only is this my office, my living space, but it's also my gym. So I have 2 sets of these that are really useful, and when I don't need them, I can just put them away and not have to think about working out all the time. And then just for additional storage, I have these stools from IKEA. When they're not being used as seating, they just kind of function as a side table. But if I do ever need the extra seating, they stack really nicely and folks can sit on them. So let's go to the bathroom. Come in to my very tiny wash closet. So this is my bathroom. This was really important for me to have just because when I was looking at apartments in this similar price range, a lot of the apartments in San Francisco had bathrooms that were in the hallway that you had to share with other tenants. And I was like, I am not about to share a bathroom with other people. So I am very grateful for the fact that I have my own bathroom, and I also have a tub too. Over here on this side, I just put like an over the toilet shelf thing that I put these storage baskets on. The storage baskets didn't actually come with this over the toilet shelf thing. It just so happened that these boxes fit really perfectly on the shelves. This is definitely the smallest place I've ever lived in. It's 120 square feet. My old apartment that I shared with roommates, I think my bedroom was actually bigger than this entire studio itself, but at the same time, it wasn't my own space. And so while it is really tiny, I'm just really glad that I have this place all to myself, especially during a time like this pandemic where sharing space is definitely a little bit more precarious than what it used to be. I definitely wanted to keep the vibe in here like really light, so like nothing too dark. I wanted to use like a lot of white, a lot of like flesh tones, beige, just so that it would kind of keep a like light and airy feel in this tiny apartment. So that's it for my tiny apartment tour. Leave a comment down below for any questions that you might have about small space living, and I'll see you next time. Bye.